This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams and Michelangelo's Plumbing. It is October 30th, 2020, and we're performing a video sewer inspection through the mainline cleanout at the left front corner of the house, right before the small walk-in gate to the backyard. Begin running our camera. There's two cleanouts. We're going to try the 4-inch ABS cleanout that's toward the front wall. This is the front yard area, and there's Ryan. Okay, we're going to zero out our camera monitor right here. We get a good accurate reading. We're going to begin running through our 4-inch ABS plastic cleanout. Our camera will flip a little bit sometimes, so we're not always on the bottom, but that's kind of what we want, because it appears that whatever we're trying to look at, we're out about between 29 and 31 feet, and we're trying to see the vitreous clay and identify whether there is a crack or whether there isn't a crack. Right now you got a lot of sewer gases floating in.
You want me to turn the water on?
No, you're good. That's all sewer gases floating.
Oh, is that bad?
Oh, no, that's normal.
Oh, okay.
That's why you have P-traps up underneath sinks and everything else to keep water in it, to keep that sewer gases from coming back into the house. That's typical. Now we're going out toward the street. Now we're going to transition right here to vitreous clay. 31 feet 6 inches, and we're going up, we're going into the vitreous clay, and right here we're at about 32 feet, and at the top I can see that there is definitely a break in the piping. There's no doubt whatsoever. There's a break. Actually, that joint, that particular joint right there is at about 32 feet 6 inches on the camera monitor. Kind of hard to see, but as we pull back, I can see that there's a definite break at the top. You can see the jagged part of the vitreous clay where it's cracked and broken at the top of the joint. We're going to see if we can get a skid ball on our camera as well, where it's going to raise it up a little bit more. So we're going to pull the camera back out, see if I can put a skid ball on top where it's going to kind of point it up toward the top even more so we get a better picture at it. We're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we're going to pull our camera back. We're just going to tie a piece of twine onto the line, and then we're going to try and go back in, see if we can get a better shot. We're going to pause our mic for a moment.
That's some MacGyver stuff.
Yep. Okay, we're going to run back in again. And we've got a piece of twine tied onto our camera head. And we're going to go back in and take a look. See if we can pull this camera back a little bit and get it to point up at that area that we're concerned about with the brake. We did zero out our camera monitor. Gonna have a little bit different footage on it, but you can see it's the same exact area. Okay, we're right here. I'm gonna try and pull our camera up if we can. See if we get lucky. Yeah, you can see there's a definite break. We've got a big chunk missing out of the vitreous clay right there. See it all right there. It appears that somebody probably tried to break the vitreous clay, maybe cut it, and when they tried to cut it, it was just broken. It was all jagged, and I don't know what the restriction is. Looks like that might be part of the coupling. This whole piece should not be showing. I'm going to go in a little bit. I'm going to see if I drop down at all. Yeah, I do drop down quite a bit right there. You can see where the camera drops. Comes up. You can see how much lower the bottom piece of vitreous clay is than where we're at now. You can't really see the face of the pipe at all. And we're dropping down into the vitreous clay, which means it's offset quite a bit. And you can see the next joint. That's what a joint's supposed to look like. Even that one, we've got some cracks in the face. We have some cracks in the face of the vitreous clay right there. And we may have another crack back further. We just can't see it real well. There's something going on with that joint a little bit, but it's not terrible. And then the joint after that, the next joint, that one's offset a little bit. You can only see it from back here. You can see the entire face from about the 1 o'clock area down to about the 8 o'clock area. You can see the face of the pipe, but you don't see it down below. But primarily, the area that we're concerned with trying to get back in here. It's really hard to see, but it may just be offset quite a bit and broken at the top. That may be all we have. It may not be the coupling. That may be the piece of pipe behind it that we're seeing. That may be part of the fitting. But that's definitely broken right there. There's no doubt whatsoever. You get a really good shot at it right there. Yeah, you see a jagged piece of vitreous clay hanging down right there. So that is broken. And there's concrete sidewalk right in front of this area, and it's cracked quite a bit and settling. So this area may be leaking to a point where it's causing the concrete to settle. We're going to pause and we're going to just double check that area. Okay, we're going to begin pulling back now. We're going to pull back, take the twine off the camera head, and then we're going to go out all the way and just double check the rest of the line. But there is a break right there. And that is the joint. So they only replaced part of the 4-inch. I don't know if it increases the 6-inch, but we're going to find out once we get the twine off of here and go in all the way. Get out of there. Nice. My glove in there.
It's like what I do with my fishing line.
Yeah, you and me both.
I'm screwed up. Have you ever been to Lake
Pause our-
Casitas?
Okay, now we're going to zero out our camera monitor one more time, and then we're going to go back in. We're going to go all the way to the city sewer and just double check everything. Okay, we're at 0. We're at the opening to the sewer clean out. We know all of this is in decent condition. We can see all the joints real clearly. It's all ABS plastic. Everything that we can see appears to be in good condition. And then we transition to the vitreous clay. Appears to be 4-inch vitreous clay. And that's our test tee right there. And we're right at the sidewalk area. A little bit over pour on glue, but looks good. And that's our transition from ABS plastic to vitreous clay. That right in front of us is the piece that's broken. Got a little bit of a offset right here. Gonna have to jump over it. Okay, we're over that. A little tiny bit of debris on the camera lens. We'll wash it off when we get in the city sewer. And right at 39 feet, I'm going to check this on the way back. Appears there may be a crack at 39 feet. push all the way out to the city sewer. And then once we rinse the camera lens, should be able to see much better. Making our turn, and should drop into the city sewer. Hopefully we can make it. There we go. We're into the city sewer. Rinse our camera lens, and now we're going to begin pulling back. Little offset right there at the saddle area. Pull back to the next joint. A little bit of an offset there too. From about the 7 o'clock area to about the 3 o'clock area, we have an offset. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. We're going to flush a toilet real quick, and we're going to try and rinse that camera lens off a little bit more. Here, pause. Okay, we've got our camera lens cleaned off now. Going to begin pulling back. That was the city sewer tie-in connection ahead of us. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition as well. And we do have a crack all the way around from approximately the 6 o'clock area where there's a chip in the face of the pipe, and about the 7 o'clock area, and then you see the crack going all the way around to about the 12 o'clock area. So there's a crack in that pipe. You can see it right there.
Is that a different crack?
So we have that area at approximately 37 feet. 37 feet, which is in the street. That joint appears to be in fair, maintainable condition. And we're seeing a lot of the face of that pipe from about the 6 o'clock area to about the 12 o'clock area. That joint is offset quite a bit. No major issues, no major breaks or anything, or root intrusions, but it is offset. Then the next joint's offset quite a bit, which we looked at before. And I believe that's the 4 to 6 inch transition. So That's about where we have our mark, pretty close in the sidewalk area. We're right here, only about a foot back. This is where we have the major break at the top. Gonna keep pulling back. Now we transition back to the ABS plastic right here, and we have a little bit of an offset in that joint. Wasn't lined up real well. Now we're gonna pull back. We've already looked at the ABS plastic pipe and fitting several times. I'm just going to pop in. I'm going to run my camera down into the 3-inch ABS plastic mainline clean out in the front, just to see exactly where it goes. One of them should be heading back toward the house, but from what I understood, they both go out to the city sewer. Should be at about 25 feet or so before we hit vitreous clay. They're both going out the same way, which I'm pretty sure they are. No? Looks like this one, no, it is going back out to the city sewer. Yep, they both run out to the city sewer. Now when they were installed, one of them was installed incorrectly. One of them should have been installed going back toward the house. And that really should be the 4-inch ABS plastic clean out, should have been going back toward the house. This way, when you run through the 3-inch and it's going out toward the city sewer, you can pass through that one so you don't have a dead spot in case you ever had to stop it. And that will conclude the video sewer inspection.